Hey guys, Mr. Hutter here. I wanted to give you guys a tutorial on how to get that cornerstone done. So your assignment is to build a data graph, and we're going to use data from a database that we gave you. We went over this last week, but there may have been some people who were not in class, could not be there. So this is for you, or to basically go over stuff for people who were there as well. So here's what we're doing. We're going to be taking 4 documents, and we need to fill in 3 of those. And we get to them in our assignment. We see we have the 4 databases, our research catcher, our digital graph creation, and our checklist. So let's go to it. We're going to get to the first thing we need is databases. This is where we're getting our information. So our databases are giving us, first of all, they're giving us topics. Our topics are Black Lives Matter, COVID-19, the 2020 election, income inequality, student loan debt, racial inequality, and immigration. Now, those topics, hopefully, you'll find interest in one of those topics. And so I want you to pick one. Pick which one you want to go. I would avoid the 2020 election. There's really nothing in there right now for you to filter through in terms of data. I chose racial inequality. I think that's an important piece. I like that one. So when I go to racial inequality, I look at it and I say, okay, I like the COVID and race. So when I clicked on that link, it came up to this website that looks like this, APM Research Lab. They're the people who created this. I have no idea who they are, but if I wanted to learn about them, I could. But I'm looking for data. And the data I'm looking for, of course, you can see the title is The Color of Coronavirus. COVID-19 deaths by race and ethnicity in the U.S. That would be the title of my graph right there. Done. I already got my title. COVID-19 deaths by race and ethnicity in the U.S. I'll just steal that. So keep that in mind, because when I go to my research catcher, which we talked about last week and we filled in a little bit, one of the things they're going to ask me for is, hey, what's your graph title? That's the title they're looking for. The graph title is COVID-19 deaths by race and ethnicity in the U.S. So when I fill out my research catcher, that's what I'm going to put. Okay, so now where do I get my data? I'm going to scroll down. Aha, look what I found. I found a graph. And in that graph is a whole bunch of data. You'll see those lines. Those lines represent different races. So the green lines are Black, yellow lines Indigenous, I guess that's black line is Pacific Islander, gray is Latino, and bluish or something is white. So those are the 6 races. So there's 6 categories. And just to be clear, let's go back to your data catcher. When you're putting your data in, you're going to have categories. My category is going to be race and ethnicity. That's the category. And for each one of those, I'm going to put all the races, Black, Indigenous, Pacific Islander, Latino, white, and Asian. I'll put those down in these 6 category areas. And it will take no more than 6, but you have to have at least 4. You cannot go less than 4 categories because you want to compare at least different data. You want to have at least 4 categories to compare. Now, what is the numbers that what is data? Data represents numbers. So we're talking about what numbers are we putting in this column? Well, the numbers I'm going to put in are going to be, if you look at my thing, you see on the left side are my numbers. Well, those numbers represent right here, mortality rates, which is rate of death per 100,000 people by race. So the vertical is the mortality rate. How many people per 100,000 are dying? And then it's done by race. So that's my horizontal. Now you'll see these dates down here. I'm just picking the very last date. See 9/15? That was last week. So I'm going to pick that as my date of information. So they've really been keeping track of this. So if I want to find my data, I can just copy it from here. I know that it tells me for Blacks, I would put Black 97.9. I would put Indigenous 81.9, and so on and so forth. Pacific Islander 71, Latino 64, white 46, and Asian 40. Okay, so How do I make that look pretty? Well, I'm glad you asked me that question. Excuse me. Now I go to once I put that data in my data catcher, I'm going to go to my digital graph creation. Watch this. And up pops an Excel spreadsheet. And this is the part. Now it has directions on it. It says input your data in the graph below. Here's your horizontal title. Oop, this is read only. So if yours is read only like mine, it says view only. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to open it and open it in your desktop in order to get into it. So when I do that, I'm going to open Excel. It comes open. I'm going to pop it over to my left, get rid of that. I'm going to go back to my data so I know what I'm doing here. So now I've got this, it's open. Now I can type in here. I know my horizontal, which is where my race, I told you that's going to be race and ethnicity. That's the name of my title here. And then over here is going to be my data, which is going to be mortality rates per 100,000 per. Remember that, guys? Seventh graders, unit rate. That's a unit rate right there. So here we go. We've got race and ethnicity. I've got 6 races. Black. I've got indigenous. I've got all this written down in my data catcher, so I should already have this written down. But I've kind of memorized it since I've been over it. It's Pacific Islander. Those are the folks in Hawaii, U.S. Hawaii, and Samoan Islands. Those are U.S. territories and states. Then we have Latino. Ooh, Latina. Latino. We have white. And we have Asian. Now, as far as the data, I'm just going to throw stuff in. I'm going to say this is 98. This is 98. This is 90. This is, I'm just making this one up. You're going to have to get the real data. I'm going to say this is 70. This is, I remember this one, whites were 46 and 40 for Asian. Okay, I put my data in. What do I do now? How do I make it look like a pretty chart, like this type of thing? Here's what I do. I take my, I cover all of that by just holding down my mouse, covering it all, and look what pops up when I fill the whole thing out. That is called a quick analysis. Boom. Watch this. Go to charts. There we go. Just click on cluster. Doesn't matter. If you want to do a different type of chart, that's fine. We can mess around with that. That's what's so cool. So look, it just built me a little chart. Now, I have to put all my information in this chart. So I have to figure out what my data is. Don't do it that way. Go to this little button on the right, this little cross sign, the little plus sign. That's going to open up this part. This shows you, if you click on that, it gets rid of your axis. Well, you need your axis. Your axis tell you what's going in here. What about your titles? Ooh, I got to put my titles. It said that. It said I have to put my titles. How do I know I have to put my titles? Well, the last piece of paper that I have is called a checklist. And the checklist is going to tell you everything you need to do. So make sure you check your checklist before you submit your work. And according to my checklist, my graph has to have a title. Look, mortality rates per 100,000. See? And then I have to have, oh, that's not my title. Where'd I get that from? That shouldn't be there. Oh, that's because it's vertical. So I got to have a title. I got to have reasonable data. I have to have my vertical axis has to be labeled and my horizontal axis has to be labeled. Now these are vertical and axis. My graphs are going the wrong way. I want to switch my graph. I want to change the way my chart type is. Let's see how to do that. Oh, look at this. When I click on that button, let me show you what I did again. See this change chart type? Click on that. Now, different types. Look, column. Ooh, I like column. That's what I want. I want that. I want that type of column. Now, I can fool around. Oh, I don't want that. I want that. That looks good. So I'm going to hit OK. Now, I've got that column, but I want the color, so I can change my colors if I want. I I can change the colors. I can go, look at these quick styles now. Ooh, I can change it to that. That looks better. Select data. No, don't hit that. I don't need that. Change chart type. Where'd my colors go? I wanted colors. Anyway, oh well. And move chart. No, I don't need that. Oh, look, colors over here. I can change chart types going there. Change my color down here. Well, like green. Green's good. Let's go back up. Do I have everything I need in here? Oh, here's one thing I want you to put in. Click on legend. Legend is good. You want a legend. All right. So, and this is not what I want up here, mortality rates. This is not my title. My title, if you go back to my title, should be COVID-19 deaths by race and ethnicity in the U.S. That's my title. So I should put that in there. Anyway, when you're done, you save this. You save don't worry about the database. You don't have to save the database. But you do need to save your, what is this? This is your data catcher. And you also have to save that part. Yeah, we did that. And you also have to save your checklist. So there's 3 things you're going to turn in. You're going to turn in the actual graph itself. You're going to turn in your data catcher and your checklist. You need all 3 of those. And once you're done with that, the way you do that is you save your files to your OneDrive, into your DCPS OneDrive. You all have one. Once you've saved your files, you go to the submit button and it says upload files, and you upload those files. You go get them, find those files in your OneDrive, you click on, and then you upload and submit it. And then you're done. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So I hope that was helpful. If you are confused at all, rewind. And if you need, you can give me a call tomorrow or text me, and I can help you out as best I can. So thanks, guys, and good luck with that.